In this video, I'm going to show you how students could have approached this question, which was question 1 in the session exam June 2021 for the subject Basic Finance as examined by the Zambia Institute of Marketing. My name is Savoy, and I work together with the educational team at the Zambia Institute of Marketing to come up with content such as this one to help you as you revise and to help you as you prepare for your exam. So this was the question. The trial balance for Mutinta Hantobolo as at 31st March 2021 is as follows. And we are given the information here, the items, and here in this particular column, it is the debits. And in this column, it is the credits. The total for the debits, which is this one, is equal to the total for the credits, which is this one. That is fine. This information is given to us. When we move down further, we notice that there is additional information that is given. And this additional information has to do with inventory. The first one, which is number 1, is that inventory as at 31st March 2021 was 19,100 kwacha. And here there is rent prepaid. And number 3, there's wages and salaries accrued. And number 4, that the motor vehicle and machinery are depreciated. So this information is provided. Further, the questions or the requirements are stated. There's A, students were required to prepare statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2021, 10 marks. B, prepare statement of financial position as at 31st March 2021. And that's what I'm going to show you. In this particular video, I'm going to show you how to prepare the statement of profit or loss. This one, the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2021. The first thing that you always need to do is to indicate the name of the person whose account you are preparing. Hantobolo, that's what it is. It is Mutinta Hantobolo, so we'll write Mutinta Hantobolo. This is the first thing, and it's very important that you do this. The second is that you clearly need to indicate that what you're preparing is a statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st March 2021. You need to clearly indicate that. And so we've already started working on the solution to earn 10 marks. The solution to preparing a statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st March 2021. The first thing is you need to clearly indicate the name of the account. And the second thing that you need to do is you need to clearly indicate that this is a statement of profit or actually it's supposed to be profit or loss, okay? Statement of profit or loss. Statement of profits or loss. Statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March. Now, you always start with your sales. That's how you start working on your statement of profit or loss. And you need to clearly indicate how much the sales are. Okay, so there, since I am using Excel, I'm just going to type in the formulas, but you'll be able to see. The sales is given right over here. The sales is this amount. So we're going to put the sales here. What else follows? Okay, we less what is known as cost of goods. Cost of goods. Less cost of goods. What falls under cost of goods? Very important. The following fall under cost of goods. The first thing is you need to talk about your purchases. And how much is it for the purchases? The purchases, this information that I including here is already made available in the trial balance. So the purchases are given. Here are the purchases right over here. It's 26,000. So I'm going to put 26,000 in this particular point. At this particular point. So this is 26,000. Okay. What else you need to add? What do you add? You add opening stock. Opening stock, how much is the opening stock? The opening stock is given, it's right over here. Stock and inventory, same thing. How much is it? 8,200. And so I'm going to write 8,200 over there. There it is. What else do you need to do? You need to less, which is to subtract. You need to less closing stock. Where is the closing stock information given? It is given right over here. We scroll down where we were looking at additional information. This is where the closing stock is. It's right over here. How do you know that this is a closing stock? By looking at the date. What is the date? 31st March. If the date is at the end of the month, it is closing. If the date is at the beginning of the month, like you can see here, 1st April 2021, it is opening. You need to remember that. And so we are going to include the closing stock here. I believe it was 9,100. Let's check again. It's 9,100. So I'm going to type here 9,100. We are in the process of preparing the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2021 for Mutinta Hantobolo. Now, what I am beginning to show you here is the structure of an actual statement. We will make changes to it based on the additional information that you saw. But for now, let's fill in the information as is done or as you can do, just as a way of guiding yourself. So we have got sales, we've put the amount there. Less cost of goods, and cost of goods is purchases. You add opening stock, then you less closing stock. Okay, fine. But let's look closely at the items in the trial balance. There's inventory, there's purchases, meaning we bought things, there's sales, meaning we sold things, there's rent. Then look at this one. There is sales returns. What does sales returns mean? Sales return means that we have sold some things, but it does not end there. After we have sold some things, some of those products that we sold have been returned to us by the customers. Why have the customers returned those goods? It could be that they were faulty. It could be that they were not the correct quality. It could be that they did not meet the specifications of the customers. There are multiple reasons why products would be returned. So that said, notice that here we indicated that our sales was 105,900. But because some of the sales were given back to us, there were sales returns. Sales returns, it means that we have to less. Actually, you have to less sales returns. And how much is it? Sales returns, how much are we lessing? How much are we reducing by? Sales returns is 900 kwacha. So there it is. Then we write what the answer is. The answer of what? 105,900 minus 900. What does this give us? It gives us 105,000. So we're going to write our 105,000 over here. Good. So we've taken account of the sales returns, and that's a good part. We've taken account of the sales returns, and that's a good part. Let's move on now and look at each one of these entries under the cost of goods. The first one is purchases. Okay, so it means that we bought items totaling 26,000 kwacha. That's fine. But when we look at the items in the trial balance, you notice that there's purchases returns. You will notice that there's purchases returns. What does this mean? It means that we bought goods, whatever goods it is that we purchased, then we return goods worth 3,000. So meaning we bought goods worth 26,000. Out of this 26,000, something may have been wrong or for whatever reason, we take away goods worth 3,000 and return. It therefore means that looking at these purchases, we subtract 3,000. And so you can just write here, less purchase returns, which is how much? 3,000. It is 3,000. Purchase returns, 3,000. There it is. We have taken into account the purchase returns. So far, so good, and this is the progress that we need to make. What we are going to do now is we have to calculate these and find what the sum is. And I'll pull out my calculator. That's what you will have on the exam. So it is 26,000 plus 8200. That's what it gives us, 34,200. Then from this, notice that it says less closing stock. So meaning we are going to subtract 9,100. It gives us 25,100. Again, you less purchase returns. So less purchase returns, which is 3,000. This is what it gives us, 22,100. So we are going to write this amount here, 22,100. Good. What we're going to do next is subtract this 22,100 from this 105,000. 105,000. We are going to subtract this amount from this amount to find what is known as the gross profit. And so, what is the difference? Calculator, 105,000 minus 22,100. It gives us 82,900. 82,900. And this is the gross profit. We are in the process of answering this question on the exam, and it can take you less than 10 minutes or thereabout. The only reason why I'm taking long is because I am solving this on the fly. I'm solving it as I type, and I'm speaking at the same time. I'm thinking at the same time, so I'm doing more things at the same time. But if I just had a paper and pen doing it to myself or for the exam, I'd obviously take less time, and you would take less time. Having made progress up to this far, what you now need to do is take note of expenses. Expenses. Actually, let me write it in caps. Expenses. That's not a spelling. Expenses, like that. Expenses. No, I'm having problems with spelling expenses. Yeah, like that. So we now need to start taking note of expenses that this business incurred in the process. The expenses are obtained from the trial balance. Let's see. There's inventory, there's purchases, there's sales, there's rent. Rent is an expense. So I'm going to write rent. Spellings. Okay, how much is it for the rent? It is 4400. There it is. What else? Insurance of motor vehicle. Insurance is an expense. Insurance of motor. Okay, let me just say motor vehicle in that. But in the exam, make sure you write it in full. I'm just doing it now for the purposes of demonstration. How much is it for the insurance? It is 1,600. Okay, then there's sundry expenses. So we're going to type sundry expenses. How much is sundry expenses? We've been told it's 1,400. Okay. Wages and salaries. Wages and salaries are expenses. So wages and salaries. How much for wages and salaries? 30,400. What else? Motor vehicle costs? No. Machinery? No, that's not an expense. Trade receivables? Not an expense. Trade payables is not an expense. Bank? Not an expense. Accumulated depreciation, not an expense. In this particular case, no, it's not an expense. It's accumulated. Drawings, not an expense. Capital, not an expense. Are we done? Maybe, maybe not. You need to scroll down and look for the additional information. Look at the additional information. So the additional information, A says inventory. Okay, we've already done that with regards to A. Then, not A, but I. Number 2, rent prepaid. Rent prepaid. So here you're dealing with a topic on prepayments. But let me make it very simple and explain. When it is a prepaid service, it means that you have paid for it in advance. let's assume your rental, you pay rent for 3 months, but you then decide to pay for a 4th month at the same time. It means that you have prepaid for your rentals. And this is the same case here. So we need to, whenever we are talking about prepayments, let me make it very simple for you. When you are talking about a prepayment, you simply need to subtract. What is it that you subtract? It depends what the issue is. This prepayment here is a rent prepayment. So it means that you are going to subtract the amount given from the figure given for the rent. So just write it there. Say rent prepaid. And in fact, make sure you can just write less so that you don't get confused. Less rent prepaid. And how much is rent prepaid? It is, we are given that it is 400. There it is. Good. We are done with this one. We are done with this one. Number 3, wages and salaries accrued. Meaning, ngongole zaenda zipaka. To accrue is to owe more. We are going to indicate here that it is wages and salaries accrued. Nope. Is that the spelling of accrued? Nope. The spelling of accrued is like this. But for accruals, we add. When we talk of accruals, we add like that. Good. How much is it that we're adding for accruals? We've been told it is 700 kwacha. So you add 700 over there. Let me just move this so that you can be able to see everything at the same time. Good. Like that. So we are done, almost done with expenses. What else is remaining? Notice here, number 5. The motor vehicle and machinery are to be depreciated. To depreciate is to lose value over a period of time. If you bought a car for 60,000 kwacha 2 years ago, you cannot sell that car for the same amount this year. It has depreciated, meaning it has lost value. So we are told by what percentage value has been lost. For the motor vehicle, it is 20%. And for the machinery, it is 25%. So we need to take note of depreciation. In this particular case, we need to take note of depreciation. It is depreciation of what? There's depreciation of motor vehicle. The depreciation is by 20%. So we calculate what is the value for the motor vehicle. We were given, it's right over here, 37,000. The vehicle has depreciated by how much? By 20%. So what we're going to do, get our calculator. Let me just move it somewhere. Okay, let me move it here. We get our calculator, move it right over here. It's 20%. So 20 divided by 100, that's 20%, 0.2, multiplied by 37,000. 37,000, so it's 737,000. The value is 7,400, and that's what we're going to write here. 7,400, 7,400, like that. There's also depreciation for machinery. Machinery. The value or the cost of the machinery is given. It's over here. 32,000. 32,000 depreciated by how much? By 25%. We'll get our calculator again. 25%, so that's 25 divided by 100, 0.25, multiplied by the value of the machinery, which is 32,000, just 32,000. So it gives us 8,000 kwacha. 8,000 kwacha. Yeah, so I'm going to write 8,000 kwacha right over here. Are we done? Yes, we are done. We've taken note of the inventory, we've taken note of the rent prepaid, we've taken note of the wages, and we've taken note of the motor vehicle. So what we do is we calculate this. We calculate this. And what we're going to find, is the total expenses. Total expenses. Okay? And we're going to write them right over here. So get your calculator, because that's what you'll be using on the exam, I can easily come up with a formula since I'm using the program Excel, but I want to show you step by step. So rent is how much? It's 4,400. Then you add 1,600 plus 1,400 plus 30,400. That's what we get in total. Then we less this one, less 400. That's what we get. Then we add, okay? We add 700. Then we add 7,400 and also add 8,000. What do we get? We get 53,500. This is our total expenses, 53,500. We're almost done. What we then now need to do is to subtract these total expenses from the gross profit to get what is known as the net profit. Profit. The net profit is obtained by subtracting the total expenses from the gross profit. And so again, like I keep doing, you get your calculator, you are going to get this figure, which is over here, 82,900, subtract the total expenses, 53,500. What do you get? You get 29,400. 29,400. And this is the net profit. Just by following these steps, you are done. You have successfully prepared the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31 March 2021 for Mutinta Hantobolo. And this is how students needed to approach this question. My name is Savoy. You need help with your studies. My Facebook page is Marketing Study in Zambia, and feel free to get in touch and I'll be happy to take you through the lessons. In the next video, I'm going to show you how students would have then prepared the statement of financial position. In this one, the focus was to prepare the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31 March 2021 for Mutinta. Goodbye.